Hey everybody. Happy New Year to you guys. As though it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Just been taking care of a lot of things for myself, mind, body, and soul. Glad to report that even at this moment, everything is going in the direction it's supposed to go. Things are going well, my family is well, friends are doing well. A lot of changes which are good, which may have some of them been hard, but it's a part of life and it's a part of the process and the journey, which I'm trusting. Therapy is going great for me. Been able to open up more, to be able to process my feelings and not guilt myself in what I feel about certain things, and to be able to do the work I've needed to do and to be held accountable for it, on this part of the journey, for my mental health, mental clarity, my health journey, just this whole lifestyle change that I'm working on manifesting, and I hope you guys are doing the same thing. I hope you guys are meditating. I hope, you're burning your incense. I hope you're, lighting candles, setting your intentions, writing your affirmations, reciting them, anything to help set the tone and create the aura that you want to radiate out into the universe, to collect the things that you've been just really meditating on and hoping for. I wanted to talk to you guys about an important thing that is paramount on your health journey and your new lifestyle of change, and that is definitely setting your emotional boundaries. Now, I know, speaking for myself, I never set any. I always was the person that people could call on for whatever. Ray, I need you. I got this, and this. I'm on my way. Dang, I'm a little strapped for this. Can you help me? No problem. How much you need? I'm just having a rough day. I need somebody to talk to. All right, I got time. What do you want to talk about? I'll sit down and I'll listen. And only to learn that I was picking up more than what I was just letting lay there on the floor. I was picking up more. I was taking on more, doing all of that heavy lifting, of trying to keep the weight of the world on your shoulders, like the Greek god, I think his name is Atlas, just trying to hold it all together, trying to keep it there, and it's just wearing you down and weighing you down the more and more and more you allow people to pour it and dump onto you. And it got to a point where I would be in my darkest moments and I needed someone there, or someone to talk to, someone to confide in, someone to be able to rely on. And mentally, I started to believe that I could not trust anybody with me but me. But at the same time, wasn't doing anything about helping me help me, if that makes sense. I know that's a lot of words in one, but I wasn't doing that. Instead, I was pushing everything that I had going on, pushing it to the back burner and not taking care of myself. My health, my pressure was through the roof a few months ago. Emotionally, when I'm in a slump, emotionally, I'm an emotional eater. I think a lot of us are. We go after our favorite stuff or whatever, and we gonna get a bunch of it because we gonna want them cakes, we gonna want them pies, we gonna want all of that good stuff to fill every void that we don't want to deal with. But we know how to help everybody else deal with the voids they got. Ain't that terrible? That's a terrible thing. And when I got to the place where I was at my lowest moment, and life was showing me who people were in my life and their role and also their intentions, it took me for a whirlwind. It knocked the wind out of me. Emotionally, I was stuck and started to believe the things that people's true colors were showing me. And when I felt like I needed people most, I didn't know who I could call on, because I was thinking they're always calling on me to fix something. How on earth are they going to fix me or be that emotional support to me? So while going through therapy and discussing, the issues of my heart, and, the episodes and the encounters, I was, having panic attacks more frequent than most when I started to see a lot more from people that I held to high regard. And it was breaking me. I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to be creative. I didn't want to, work the gifts that I have that I've always done effortlessly before, because now at this journey in my life, as I said, however, I'm taking care of me and learning me all over again. So my full and undivided attention is on myself. So now it feels weird. And I know we've all been there. That it feels completely out of the ordinary, to be like, well, what do you want to do for you? Right now, that's who your focus is on, is taking care of yourself. And in doing that, I was just putting myself in a place where I'm like, you know what? I'll just sleep on it and I'll figure out whatever happens. And I was letting myself go on autopilot, all the while making sure to show up for everybody else who needed me for something, but wasn't showing up for myself. So that's when me going through therapy, my therapist reminded me that I'm never giving myself credit for the things I've done for other people. And when she said that to me, it hit different, because she was right. I didn't give myself credit for anything. People are like, oh, well, you did this and you really helped me out and everything. I'm like, it's nothing. And that was me not wanting to be boastful, not wanting to have this big head and everything. And just also making myself feel needed and validated by other people when Ray needed Ray. Ray needed validation from Ray now. And I wasn't giving myself that. I was giving myself away to everybody else. And when it came down to me, it was like I didn't know what on earth to do. Or I was afraid, or even more, I felt like I was completely unworthy of doing anything for myself. Felt like I didn't deserve to be loved and be appreciated and to cater to myself as I've catered to everybody else. But on the outside, I had everybody believing that I had it all together, had this, this perfect outlook on life, but coming home and sitting in this like, okay, so you done took the mask off and you see what's going on. So what are you going to do about it? And what my only solution was to keep helping everybody else, and maybe something will come down the pipeline that I know what to do for myself. And it came to that place where my therapist said, you have to set your boundaries now, because if not, you're never going to take care of yourself. We have to know when to choose other people's battles, because we'll pick them up because we don't want them to hurt, but I'm the one taking all of the bullets, all of the arrows. I'm taking the axes, the hammers, the fists. I'm taking everything. And everybody else is just sitting around saying, oh, it's going to be all right. It'll be okay. All the while they're not dealing in it, but they want me to deal in it. You're a puppet. And I I started to do that by allowing myself to set those boundaries by simply saying to certain things, no, 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 I can't do this. You know, I know I always did this before, but no, I'm not going to commit myself to doing this. I'm not going to do that. No, I don't feel like doing that. No, I don't want to. And in those times of saying no, I'm like, okay, now you've disagreed. Well, not disagreed, but you declined helping them out. So when you gonna help yourself out? So that's where it took a lot of reprogramming. And I had all of the time in the world because I created those boundaries. And in doing that, I started to get myself back into the groove of going to the gym again, picking out stuff that I like, taking the time and being very, very particular about the little things for me to show how much I cared about myself. And when you're doing that, you start to see that people don't know how to take the fact that you're starting to give a hoot about yourself. They ain't know how to take it no more. And when they do that, and because this is what they'll say to you. Oh, well, normally you would help out, or normally you would give your advice, or normally you would do this and do that. Well, why are you not doing that anymore? Like, what's going on? This isn't like you. And you're reminded that was me. But this new me has to take care of this me that has started to evolve, and that's been sitting here waiting patiently for one of you that I've always helped to help me back. And that's when that light bulb came right on. People aren't supposed to understand. People aren't going to want to understand, because what they do understand is that whenever you called, it was always yes. But when you say no, they don't know how to handle you now. Because their agenda was get somebody else to do their work because they didn't want to do their own, while you putting your own work on the back burner. So when I started to set these boundaries and, being intentional and showing up for me, the guilt of saying no went away. The imposter syndrome started to diminish. And I don't know if many of you know what that is, but it's where you really believe that who you are, you're really not. And you kick yourself because you're this great person, but you don't believe you're a great person. You think you're being an imposter when you're being genuinely who you are. And it's a mental thing when you have insecurities and self-doubt. And, mine's triggered for me. I was on the health journey, in 2013, where I lost a lot of weight. I started gaining back. 2017, lost a lot of weight, and then I stopped and gained it back. And then I just went into this depressive state, like, well, damn, I done fell off the bandwagon again. How many times you going to keep falling off? And I was telling myself that, and that was plaguing on me and making me forget about every good quality about myself. So when I started to set all of these boundaries, and really sitting down and looking at my finances and saying, okay, I need to do this, this, and this, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. It made it easier for me to start to let things go. Let people go. A lot of stuff that don't serve me any purpose or whatever. Now at this point where I'm like, okay, I can throw it away. No, I don't need it. And I know I don't need it, but I was holding on to, because I was thinking that those things and those people were validation of who I am, and that was my makeup of the person that I profess myself to be in front of everybody when I cut it on. But then when I'm behind closed doors and I cut it off, I'm just stuck with clutter. But to everybody else, it looks like, oh, he does this and he does this so well, and he just has such a positive outlook on everything. And a lot of times I do, but even in those times where I don't, I've learned to work myself through it. So now my anxiety started to diminish because now I started to meditate. From meditation, you know that breathing is paramount in helping you know what you really need in your spirit. And even in those meditations, I was setting those boundaries. I could be sitting here listening to a meditation on YouTube. My phone would ring. The old me would stop the meditation, just getting into it, going into another realm, and I would snap out of it and then have to sit here and figure I have to listen to everybody else's stuff. But when I started going to therapy, and my therapy sessions are virtual right now because we're still in COVID, and my phone would ring, and initially I would would answer it like, I'm in therapy, I'll call you back. No, now I just ignore. Because anybody that knows I give you ample time, at least that much, let you know I got therapy this morning. And initially I would feel bad about it, but now I don't. Like, and those people who know if I don't answer the phone, whatever, they look like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot you had therapy. I do apologize. And they get it, you know, and initially I would be like, oh, it's okay. It happens. No problem. No, it's not okay. I was in therapy. You know I'm in therapy because I mentioned it to you guys because I know you're going to call me because we enjoy each other's conversations, but I'm taking care of me for a moment. Let me call you back in an hour. And even in the morning, you know, sometimes, you know, I'll be driving and just want to listen to my music. I get a phone call and I find myself like, I don't feel like talking. I just want to listen to my music. I just want to listen to my thoughts. I want to think, you know, and I've learned to be a little bit more expressive in that, like, you know, let me call you back because I'm listening to something, you know, or I won't answer the phone. I just text like, I'm gonna call you back because I need that downtime. And those boundaries started to help me find that strength for myself to show up, that courage to show up, you know, just the mental capacity to show up. And it also allowed me to be more vocal in who around me thinks it's okay to make me uncomfortable, because I'm always trying to smile and be pleasant and keep the good vibes going around, while a lot of them are only around here to be bloodsuckers. And if someone does kill my vibe, or I feel like it's going to be an issue, I don't walk away from it now. I speak on it. Why are you acting like that? Why are you coming around here killing my vibe? You know, you're not going to control the narrative because you got something going on that you don't want to deal with, so you want to dump it on me and want me to feel like you. You know, or if someone has issues like, oh my God, well, you know, oh, you won't believe, you know, this stuff is going on and this and this or whatever. And I'm sitting there like, wow, that's crazy. And I'd be like, you know what? I got nothing. I hope it works out for you, but I don't have anything. And I could have a whole bunch of solutions. But at the end of the day, I've also learned setting those boundaries, because some people just love to hear themselves talk. So I don't pick it up, because then I'm picking up your vibes. I'm picking up your nasty spirit. I'm picking up this. I'm picking up that. I'm picking up everything that you don't want to deal with. But because you think I have this strength to be this punching bag or this dumping ground for everything, that I can deal with it. And that had to come to a halt. So when those boundaries are set, keep them for you, not for nobody else. Not to prove nobody else, like, see, I can set boundaries. I don't need you around. I told you. No, for you to sit down and be like, Ray, you have to set these boundaries, because all of a sudden this part became none of your business. You know, people try to even throw little trigger words out there, or things where they know that things will get under your skin. I know it gets under my skin, but I'm not going to let it get under my skin. So I don't have a reply for you. Because some people love mess. And they want to disturb other people's peace. And my therapist said that it's sometimes that people are unaware. I don't think that people are unaware. I think people are very much aware of what they're doing, but they're hoping that you don't notice. So, in all of that, I know this was a long conversation, but setting those boundaries, guys, will open doors for you never knew imagined. Because I can tell you there were some things, some wonderful things that have happened, and some things that I know are going to manifest that are showing themselves again. And I'm grateful and I'm excited for it, because I'm now in a better headspace by setting those boundaries for my peace and my well-being and my development and my journey, that now I'm not afraid for the good things that I know I'm capable of and are worthy of to happen are going to happen. So love on everybody. Be great. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Mwah.